Hey everybody, come on in. It's Cheryl. I want to take a few minutes to talk to you about something that's really, really serious, especially if you are 50 and older, and that is shingles. Maybe you know about it, maybe you don't. But if you don't, I hope that the information I share with you tonight will help you. Um, First of all, what is shingles? Shingles is a virus that is left in the body after you have had chickenpox. So if you had chickenpox as a child, like I did, this virus can rear its ugly head again in your later years. Um, it starts off with like a rash, small rash somewhere. Some people may have more of a rash than others. It's different for everybody. And um, and then the pain kicks in. When you read about it, it'll say the pain starts and then you notice the rash. With me, I think it was the opposite. So I'm just going to leave it like that. So let me say this. I've had shingles twice. I had it 7 or 8 years ago and was not really aware of shingles, so to speak. But because I'd had two coworkers that had it, I became more aware. So I started to notice like a little itching, tingling feeling the first time I got it in my abdomen area. And then pain, whatever. So I Googled it, read all about it, found out how long it would last. Could last up to, I think he said 3 to 6 months, something like that for some people, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, I've got to ride this out. I took ibuprofen. I stayed on my daily routine. I got up, I went to work. But when I would come home in the evening, I would be exhausted. I was so tired. And the pain would be more intense in the evening. So I would come home, get on the sofa, take some ibuprofen, and that was about the end of my day. So it eventually went away. Fast forward to now, 7, 8 years later, I'm noticing that I have this um, itching on my back, on the total opposite side of my body. And I thought possibly a mosquito had bitten me or something. So I had my husband look at it, and he said, "Oh, babe, you got kind of like a little rash. It's kind of like in a ring." And I have been noticing some little pain, but I don't panic when I feel pain, especially at my age. I kind of see if it goes away, and if not, then I do something about it. Okay, that's just me. Um, and so I started getting this intense pain. And I was like, oh my goodness. And when I say intense pain, I mean the make you want to cry kind of pain. Okay? So I made an appointment to get into the doctor. And when I got into the doctor and he examined me, he said, oh, your rash is kind of dried up here. And I said, well, I did put some like antibiotic cream on it. He said, yeah. He said, but this is the second time you've had it. And I'm afraid you've got postherpetic neuralgia. That's what it's called. It's what you get after you've had shingles. It can last uh, up to a year, or it can be for the rest of your life. And so that's what I was having. I started having it in March of this year, 2024, and I'm still having it. So mine is either going to go for a year or it's going to be something that I have for the rest of my life. So when I got into the doctor's office, he said, I can give you the lidocaine patches, but they're like pain patches, and you just stick them on your body in the area where you're having the pain. He says, and I can give you a pain reliever. The pain reliever he suggested, he explained to me what it was. Um, it's called gabapentin. And there may be some of you out here that take it. Um, and so anyway, we left the office that day. My husband and I went to the pharmacy, um, got the medication, and came home. Now, I am a firm believer in reading all of the side effects of medication before I take it, because I want to know, what is this going to do to me when I take it, so I can know what to expect. The first symptom I read on the medication, the gabapentin, was suicidal thoughts. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to wake up in a different mindset than I went to bed in. I did not feel like I could chance it. Um, what I had been doing before I went to the doctor, and what I continued to do after I had seen the doctor, was take ibuprofen, and then I would, when 4 hours of the ibuprofen wore off, I would take aspirin. And some of you, if you've been around a while, you may know about BC headache powder. Okay. If you have a headache and you take a BC, you won't have a headache for long. It is over 800 milligrams of aspirin, and I believe 60 some odd milligrams of caffeine, which caffeine helps the pain reliever to perform. Okay, I'm going to put it like that. So with shingles, you can get a burning sensation, itching, um, it can be, the area can be numb, but however, when you touch it, it can be numb. But if you put clothing on or something like that, oh my goodness, it is so irritating. Having to put a bra on in this particular, because my shingles were from the middle of my back to the middle of my chest. So it affected this entire area of my body. And when I mean shoulder, breast, arm, anything in this area is being affected, because shingles is a nerve condition. Your nerves have been damaged, and that is what is causing this pain. Unfortunately, if you don't get to the doctor within 72 hours of discovering you have shingles, the antiviral medication that they can give you to kind of put a halt on this doesn't work. I was a week or more in before I even realized what was going on with me. So that's why I could not take that medication. So I continued with the ibuprofen and the BC headache powder in intervals. I would not wish this on my worst enemy, because the pain I experienced the first time I got shingles was nothing in comparison to the pain I experienced when I got it the second time. I never went and got a vaccination for shingles, because once I had it, I never in my wildest dreams thought I would get it again. Okay, but I did. So I would strongly encourage you, if you're nearing 50, talk to your doctor. See when the best time is for you to take the shingles shot. My husband had not had it, but he did go and get the shot. Um, as I said, I did not take the medication because of the side effects of it. I just couldn't see myself personally taking that chance, okay, of having suicidal thoughts. And and any of the other things that would happen if I took this medication. So now here I am with this postherpetic neuralgia, which can last up to a year. So that will be March of 2025 if it decides to go away, or I can have it for the rest of my life. And so I am currently dealing with uh, the pain from it. And since it is a nerve problem, I've decided to take B vitamins, B complex, um, and try and keep my stress level down. Stress will trigger this virus, okay? Uh, and I'm just going to tell you briefly what kind of happened before it was triggered for the second time. My husband had emergency surgery in February. And after him being in intensive care for about a week and a half, and finally getting out and getting settled and getting back on his feet, is when I broke out with the shingles the second time. And so it definitely was triggered by stress. I have a close girlfriend who the same thing happened to her. Her husband went into the hospital. Once he got out and got settled, she had shingles. There are actually four of us, close friends, who had shingles at the same time. As a matter of fact, one of my friends, she and I are having it at the same time. The difference is that she is battling cancer, and so her immune system uh, is down. That can trigger shingles. If your immune system has been compromised by drugs, if you have cancer, can cause the shingles and your nerves. And so right now, that's how I'm dealing with it. I wanted to just let you guys know what it is, what can happen. And I don't want to make this video so long. And so I'm going to cut it short. But in my next video, I'm going to go into a little more detail about this post um, herpetic neuralgia, okay? And what it can do to you, and some of the things that you can do to uh, relieve it. As I said, the patches that they gave me did nothing. That was a waste of time. I was just putting them on my body and hoping a miracle would happen, and I was just peeling them right back off the next day because nothing was going on. The only thing that helped me was warm cloth, a warm cloth on it, and of course taking the ibuprofen and the headache powder or aspirin in intervals. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Please go and get your vaccination if you have not gotten it. I am not a doctor. I am not encouraging you to do something that you may be against. You may not want a vaccination. Some people don't want vaccinations. And so I'm certainly not encouraging you to do something that you don't want to do. But if you are willing, I would suggest you take it, and only because of the intense pain that can come from it. Go on Google, research it for yourself. And I hope that you guys have learned from this. And I'm going to make the other video on the condition that I am dealing with now after the severe pain has subsided. The severe pain lasted about 3 months. And then it slacked off. And so now I'm just getting little tinges of pain. I did find out that foods you eat, if you eat baked goods, sugary foods, sugary drinks, Pepsi, it even said white rice can trigger the pain from the shingles or the postherpetic neuralgia that I have. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to stay true to my promise. I'm going to shut this video down. I hope you learned from it. I hope you do your research, and I hope you come back and see me again. All right. God bless you guys. Have a good night. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.